This is a podcast to motivate you to consider change and be more intentional about taking your life back. I share my secrets on how I discovered my power within, which gave me the confidence I need to be the example of what's possible with lupus. You want to know my secrets on how I live a life lupus free? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, dear lupus warriors. It's been a while, I know, hasn't it? I've missed you so much. I'm your host, Shedrica Holmes, and it's been quite the journey since our last episode back in 2020. But today, I want to take a moment to catch up, share some life updates, and let you in on what's been going on behind the scenes. Anything that I share on this show is from my experiences and my experiences only. If you are looking to make any lifestyle changes, I recommend you speaking to your doctor first. Over these past couple of years, life has been lifing, as it tends to, but I've also been busy. I've been working on exciting projects, both personally and within our community. I have had the privilege of connecting with some amazing individuals, experts, and fellow lupus warriors. And these interactions have inspired me to bring you even more valuable content and resources. So in this reintroduction episode, I will be sharing some personal updates, including how I've been managing my own lupus journey and what I've learned, and some insights that I've gained along the way. I don't know if that makes sense because it's kind of like running together, but I'll just start by saying I recently went to the it wasn't a women empowerment. It was Lupus Empowerment Summit down in Atlanta. And it was so inspiring. It taught me so much. And I call myself a seasoned lupus warrior because I was diagnosed back in 2008. So I've been dealing and living and managing this for quite some time now. So it was definitely intriguing that I was able to gain so much more information. And a matter of fact, it made me feel like I knew nothing at all. Like my experience, yes, is my personal experience. But however, like everything around my experience, it was so much bigger than me. Like I learned so many key takeaways when it comes to advocating for lupus warriors or for myself, which I don't feel like we all really know what's going on. It is just so many things and aspects that's happening behind the scenes that we have no idea that's being orchestrated or decided for us, or I just know some of those things never crossed my mind. So that was like the biggest takeaway from the summit. Then it was just the presence of being amongst all these warriors and all these people, women and men, who have been living with this and finding empowerment between one another to feel encouraged and motivated. It was just a beautiful thing. And the keynote speaker that was there, her story was so good. And I was just so inspired by her and her ability to keep pushing forward and still being able to speak, although she was personally going through some things. And that is the power of having a chronic illness and being around other people that can relate to you, and having that community behind you is because it is empowering, and it does give you the courage that you need in order to keep going, to push through, knowing that you're not alone. So that was the Lupus Summit. To sum it all up, there were some breakout sessions where they had some very informative classes that you could take. They were very short, However, I did get to attend a couple of them. So I did get into the nutrition class, which they shared some techniques of ways to, change your diet and lifestyle as far as eating, which that's something that we will discuss within this season. And then also, it was talking about depression. There was a class talking about depression, and it definitely gave me some eye-opening tips as far as mindfulness and ways, techniques and things that you could do in order to shift your energy or your perspective, the way that you were feeling at the time. So that was useful. So I will definitely be implementing those tools that I received from the summit into my daily life. And if I can, I will show you guys over on my Instagram and TikTok on how I am applying those things. So look forward to that in the future. All right, so let's move on. Now, that was just one of the experience that I experienced just recently that I just had to put out there because I did not want to forget that. But I definitely feel like it's important for you to find community or be or participate in things that's going on. Like I said, I'm going to dive deeper into the advocacy part of it all later on in the season. But for right now, that was just a tip to, get to know your lupus. Get to know lupus for real. And what people are doing behind the scenes to advocate for us and the decisions that's being made based on our illness. From people who don't have our illness. So we don't want them to be making decisions for us. And we don't have no say-so at the end of the day when shit hit the fan. Excuse my language. Okay, back to where I was talking about. All right, so 3 years ago, back in 2020, I was overcoming a lupus flare, or I was in the midst of a lupus flare, and I was also dealing with the biggest heartbreak ever in my life. Moving forward to now, you guys, I don't know if you still follow me on social media, but if you haven't been or you're new here, I currently have 2 kids now. I have a 9-year-old and I have a 10-month-old now, with the person that I thought I would never speak to ever again. Okay, so yeah, that happened. He broke my heart and then somehow fixed it all back together, and now we have a beautiful baby girl, and we are currently living together. We're engaged and we're happy, and I'm just so excited to have this relationship turn around and end up being something that was good for me. So that was one of the biggest life updates, is that I have a new baby and I'm engaged to be married. So yeah, that's another thing. So again, some of these things will be talked about further along in the season, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics and forgiveness and love and setting boundaries. Like all of these things come into play of what I have learned during this break. Okay, so we talked about the Lupus Summit. I've talked to you about the biggest update that I've had, which is my family growing. And now I just want to talk to you guys about the reason for this break. So the reason for the break was, again, life was lifing. There were some things that I needed to work out. I wasn't mentally in a place to bring you good, fresh content that was from my heart, because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I spend a lot of time avoiding lupus. I avoid everything that comes around it. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I don't want to advocate for it or for myself. I just want to act like I don't have it. But the new me is embracing lupus and what is to come, and the power that I hold just by having this experience, the responsibility that God has given me in order to come to you guys and teach you and speak to you about Him and about what He can do in your life, all the way down to 100% being healed if you have that faith and that power to have that experience. I've had moments in my life where lupus has been in remission and I have been fine. I've been okay, and God has given me great moments during that time. But I had to realize that even in the hard times, these moments are still good because they're working out for my good. God always is working things out for my good. So even when I'm in pain and my body is hurting and my hands are swelling and I can't change my baby's diaper or get up and get to the bathroom on my own, it's still working out for my good, God. Like, God is so good. And He's given me the strength to come here and be on these platforms and explain and share my experience with you, because there was a moment in time where I could not speak. So Lupus Speaks means a lot to me because there was a point of time where I was silenced and God humbled me. And I just want the same thing for you all. I want you all to be able to experience God and His glory and His grace. I want you to be able to experience and embrace your journey and how you really can come out on the other side, even though it doesn't seem like it right now. Like, right now might be a hard time for you right now. But I want you to be able to look past right now and visualize what you would like to experience and how you would like to feel later. And keep moving towards that. So that is something that I have learned in this experience, in this break, that I will be sharing with you in the future. I feel like episode 3 is when I talk about the tools and the things that I've found to be helpful in managing lupus. Okay, so now the motivation for returning to this podcast is because, again, everything that I just shared, everything that I just learned, I just have to tell you. I just have to tell you what's been going on and how I've been able to manage everything. And I just don't want you guys to miss out on it. So that is the motivation. Okay? And I'm just glad to be back. And I hope that you guys continue to listen and look forward to all the things that are coming. I am ready to be consistent, and I apologize for my inconsistencies. But again, you have to be able to relate to me, okay? Life be life and lupus be looping, and we be having a lot going on. And again, I just built a whole new family dynamic, so it's been a lot. I've been battling postpartum. I was breastfeeding. Like, it's just so much. And again, I'm going to dive deeper in the future episodes. But for now, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little rundown of what's been going on, what's to come, and some of my experiences. I love you all, and I cannot wait for more. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Lupus Speaks podcast. And I hope you found inspiration, encouragement, and valuable insights today. So if you have any questions, comments, or stories that you would like to share or feedback, please reach out to me on my website at www.lupusspeaks.org. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to stay updated on our latest episodes and to join this growing lupus community. Remember, you are not alone on this lupus journey, and I am with you. So stay strong, stay positive, and until next time, you guys, peace and be intentional.